Hey there, it's Hillary, and today I'm going to be doing my May TBR. Now, I'm going to do a fairly small TBR because I'm being realistic. I have a ton of stuff going on right now. School year is almost done for my kids, and they're having field day and field trips and ballet recitals and all sorts of stuff. So, on a normal week this month, I have at least 3 or 4 things going on. So I have 4 books and 1 audiobook that I'm currently listening to, and I think maybe 5 books, maybe I can get to it. I don't think I will actually read all the books that I have in my pile right now. So I think if I don't get through my books that I'm reading, then I will start reading them again in June. I have another book that I'm hoping to finish this month, but I'll get to that one in a second. So the audiobook that I'm currently listening to that I have checked out from the library is Wonder Woman Warbringer. I am almost finished with it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very surprised at the story so far. I really only knew that Wonder Woman Warbringer was about Wonder Woman before she becomes Wonder Woman. So that being said, we're talking surprise at like what's going on in the story. Not saying that it's not good and not saying that it's not a good surprise. I just didn't know what I was expecting. I'm hoping as the story goes on and comes to a close, we get closer to her or her actually becoming Wonder Woman. But I don't know. I don't want to say like that's a spoiler because I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't finished the book yet. But that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get to the point where she actually becomes Wonder Woman. Like, that would just be an awesome close to the story. I have not seen the movie, by the way, and I'm hoping that after I finish this audiobook that my husband and I are going to be able to sit down and watch it. I am curious to see how closely related they are because I've also heard that the movie is about Wonder Woman before she becomes Wonder Woman. So I'm curious to see if like the audiobook, if it's almost like a movie transcript or something. Like I'm curious to see how close they are together. The other book that I'm currently reading right now, I'm sort of doing the same thing where I'm listening to an audiobook and I'm reading a physical book, is also by Leigh Bardugo, and that is Shadow and Bone. These are my first Leigh Bardugo books. I have not read the Six of Crows duology. I've never read the Grisha trilogy before. I might have read like a short story by her if they're in any of the anthologies that I've read, but I don't think so. So I'm at about page 137. I'm enjoying this one so far. I think she just has a way of writing. She's very like descriptive and I really like her writing style. I've been in a mood to read fantasy and this is definitely the fantasy element. It got into the action pretty quickly and I was worried when I first started reading it. I'd been in such a slump that I was afraid that the book was going to take too long to get going and then I was going to have to put it down and not be able to keep reading. But I want to say as soon as I hit chapter 2, it got really interesting and I wanted to keep reading it. Although I will say I've been listening to Wonder Woman a lot more than I've been reading because of the things that are going on right now. It's been easier for me to listen to an audiobook than to actually sit down and read. That being said, I am hoping to get to the other 2 books in the series, Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. I'm going to be realistic. I don't think I'm going to get to both of them. Maybe I might get to one more of them, but I'm not sure. It's only the beginning of May, so I mean, there's time. I also had a book that I had checked out from the library. I was reading Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and when I first started reading this, I don't know if any of you guys have read it, but it seems very Harry Potter-esque. And I kept thinking that as I was reading it. The more I read, it's delving a little bit away from Harry Potter, but I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is such a Harry Potter ripoff. And I hope that's not a spoiler for anybody saying that, But I'd still say if you haven't read it and you're thinking about reading it, give it a try, because I think there's enough differences going on in the book that it's still an interesting story. And besides, most people love Harry Potter. See, I'm wearing my Harry Potter shirt today. Most people love Harry Potter, so I mean, who doesn't want like a story that's similar to Harry Potter? So, you know, hey, give it a try. Anyway, like I said, I had checked it out from the library and I was reading it, but I had to stop reading it because I needed to read my book for book club. So I started reading this book last month. Well, then when I wanted to renew my hold on the book, someone else had put a hold on it. So I had to return it, and so now I have it on hold again, and I'm waiting to get it back so that I can continue reading it. So hopefully I'll be able to get the book back this month and I can finish reading it. I have a feeling I'm probably not going to get it back until like the end of the month, and so then it'll be on my like June TBR. We'll see. It was actually pretty easy of a read so far. I think I got about halfway through before I had to return it. If I had more time, I could have gotten it finished. The beginning was so slow for me because I kept saying, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm reading Harry Potter, just not as good of a Harry Potter because it's not Harry Potter. But it's okay. I got over that. That being said, I have to wait. It really stinks. And the last book that I'm going to try, well, not going to try to get to this one. I have to get to this one. Our book club this month is reading The Road by Cormac McCarthy. And I know that this is a dystopian story. It's about a father and a son, like, that have survived, like, an apocalypse and just their journey together. The rest of my book club is actually not looking forward to this. They don't like dystopians as much as I do. I love dystopians, maybe because I didn't discover them, and no, that's not even true. I did discover them. I read dystopians. I just didn't read like the really popular ones until a couple years ago. I read The Hunger Games a couple years ago. I read the Divergent series a couple years ago. But I had read dystopians before that. I had read Fahrenheit 451 earlier. Of course, Fahrenheit 451 is the only one off the top of my head that I can think of that I've read. But I've also read Ready Player One, which is a dystopian. I just really enjoy dystopians. I don't know what it is about dystopians. I just really like them. So I'm hoping that I really enjoy this one. I do have a friend that read this one and she absolutely hated it. But I also think she doesn't like dystopians. So we'll see. Since I'm a dystopian fan, I'm hoping that I'm really going to enjoy this one. So those are the books that I'm hoping to get to this month. I don't think that's too crazy of a May TBR. If I don't get to some of them, then I'll put them into June. I totally changed the books that I was going to read. I had planned on reading the Narnia series and Passenger and Wayfarer. Those were the books that I planned on reading this month, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the Grisha trilogy because I'm listening to this audiobook by Lee Berdugo. So, totally changed my mind on what I was going to read. I am going to read the Narnia series soon. And I'm pretty sure the only Narnia movie that I have seen is the first one. But I'm going to read those books soon. The year is like almost half over, but I'm going to read those books this year. Gonna do it. Not in May, though. So, thanks for joining me. If you've read any of these books and you really enjoyed them, let me know down in the comments. And let me know what you're reading this month. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave me a like. And if you'd like to see more videos by me, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.